Welcome back everyone to another technical analysis, and we are back with polyatomic coin. Now this technical analysis is going to be slightly different. We're going to focus more on the few of the liquidity zones that we have pointed out here as well. So 2 on the lower side, 2 on the upper side, and 1 that recently got filled as well. Now, before we go into more detailed technical analysis, we can call it technical analysis, we want to determine an overall trend on the polyatomic coin. And as we can see, we had huge downward movement, so a bearish trend. We had a nice breakout attempt, so first sign of some kind of bullish cycle starting. Now we formed some kind of double bottom in this area, so this place here, and also this place here as well. So, and now since then we basically had another breakout from the EMAs, and price is currently pushing, but price is slightly overbought now. Why do I say it's overbought? Basically just because we are way too far away from the EMAs and it's slightly dangerous area. So as long as price keeps this kind of a momentum here, we are good for further movement to the upper zones. But as soon as we see the breakdown from this area here, which is like 0.22 cents, let's say 22 and a half, 22 and something like this, basically 22 cents, if we see any kind of breakdown from here, this would be actually an ideal zone for downward movement after we see a proper MSB or mark structure break area. So risk and reward ratio is not the greatest in this case. It's like 1 to 5, not 1 to 5, 1 to 2, but still an opportunity to take a position until, of course, price reaches the zone of EMA similar to this zone here. Now, if we keep the momentum here and we don't see this mark structure break area happening, then 2 points of interest for us are going to be, of course, this upper liquidity zone, which is, let's call it, put it bullish lick, and this one as well. And let's leave this and also like this. So one thing that's important to also notice, and before we go to smaller time frames, is when we have a switch in a trend similar that we had here as well, we are leaving some unfilled gaps here. So we had also this area here on the upper zones. This was unfilled fair value gap area, most likely if we zoom in, and also this area fully here. So this is a full scale trend change, and we might see a start of it happening here as well, but we need to see a breakout from here or a retest to this area, then another bounce. And ideally, if we would talk about a midterm trading strategy here, then after breaking this local high here, the trade setup would be just something like this. Stop loss is going to be like around 100 and 200 EMAs on the 4-hour time frame, or actually I would even put it to 100 EMA on the daily time frame. So risk and reward ratio in this case is like 1 to 9, and of course few target areas would be, first of all, this area here. Not going to put any lines, but just so you understand, this area here, which is like 0.34 cents, then 0.42 cents, 0.50 cents, and this liquidity zone would be the final target, which is like 67 cents. But of course, if we see a further movement and we see a full-scale bullish trend happening, then new all-time high is most likely going to happen. And now, bear in mind, this is not an all-time high for the POL coin, because POL coin was previously a Matic coin and it had brand switch or something like this, so all-time high is way above this area. So there is a huge potential for this coin, and this is one of the coins that we also hold in the spot position as well. Now, going back to the smaller time frames, because low-key interested in this short position here, I want to take the 4-hour time frame, take the triangular box. Somewhere around here would be zone of retest. going to 30-minute timeframes, because 30-minute timeframes are more like informational than 15 minutes. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel more comfortable trading on the 30-minute timeframes, setting up the MSB area. Now, if we see the breakdown from here, and if we see the further like bearish dominance on the POL coin, of course, we see this moment. First confirmation would be again 30-minute timeframes EMAs, because those haven't been tested, like this 200 EMA haven't been broken actually properly. Then retest of this area, breakdown, retest, and a movement to this zone. Now, in this case, actually, the risk and reward ratio I think would be slightly better, because, of course, this would be the entry area once we see the retest or breakdown, full movement here, and then in this area forming a breakout structure. This would be also an ideal opportunity. But this would be the setup, and setup is like 1 to 4 risk and reward ratio, still pretty good. Now, there is nothing much more to talk about, I think. Nothing much more to talk about. So let's wait, see if we have a proper breakdown from this MSB area, so mark structure break. Once we see, we are going to go for a retest here, which would reset the price. Or if we see a further movement to the upper zones, then of course this break area would be our target. Now, there is of course a chance to take a long position if we see the breakout from this area. Then setup should be something like this. First target would be this, like 5% market price. Second target would be like 13% of market price movement. And stop loss has to be, can't say right now where, because most likely we see a breakout, we form some kind of this area here. So this would be an ideal stop loss for us. And in this case, the risk and reward ratio is basically 2.5, 1 to 2.5. So multiple trading setups that can be taken for now. Most likely we might see the slight movement to this area here, and maybe some kind of bounce. So full of manipulations are going to happen very soon. So keep an eye, wait for proper confirmations, and don't rush into any position. Wait, and wait. So that's it for the polyatomic coin. As always, thank you for watching this video, and see you on the next one.